Chaco Canyon is not for sale. Chaco Canyon is sacred. Chaco Canyon is holy. And we are going to fight and use every tool that we have to protect this land, not just today, not just tomorrow, not just next year, but for generations to come, so that the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren that will follow will be able to return to these places and pray themselves. Chaco Canyon is not just a collection of ruins that people know as a national park. It is a landscape filled with thousands of sacred sites, an ancient meeting place. I had the opportunity this year to visit Mexico City, and I was astounded to go to the National Archaeological Museum in Mexico City and see that the people of Nahuatl-speaking and Mexica people in Mexico City have stories of Chaco Canyon that are alive today. You can visit and see the artifacts that were traded over hundreds of miles and that are still part of the living stories of people in Mexico today. This is a sacred landscape. It is a living landscape. It is alive with prayers and dances and beautiful spaces as far as the eye can see. If you've ever been to Chaco Canyon and hiked up onto the mesa and looked down on the ruins down below, you can see that it is more than just Pueblo Bonito and the main village. It is literally a landscape that stretches as far as the eye can see. Kivas, holy places, where generation after generation have come to pray, to trade, to honor their ancestors, to remember, and to reconnect with that holy ground. So whatever your faith, whatever your religion, whatever your connection to the land, know that this place is holy and will always be holy. So imagine the President of the United States and the Secretary of Interior announcing, after this land has already been protected, this land has already been protected as a national park. Secretary Deb Haaland set this land aside after extensive consultation with our tribal leaders. We are working on legislation to make sure that that is the permanent protection for that land. Imagine that during the longest shutdown in American history, as the tribal leaders behind me could not even get a phone call returned from the Bureau of Indian Affairs or the Department of Interior, that this administration had the gall to send a letter to tribal leaders and tell them that they had 2 weeks to respond of their most sacred land being taken out of federal protection. Because that's what we're talking about here today. Now, you all know that I am not shy about sharing my point of view about what this administration is doing. But can you imagine the cruelty, the insensitivity, the stupidity of an administration contacting tribal leaders as they are trying to figure out how they are going to feed their people and balance their budgets and keep their public safety in order, to tell them that they are going to take away their most sacred lands and open it up for private oil and gas drilling? That is literally what this administration is proposing to do. So if you are not angry, get angry. It is time for us to stand up, to stand with Pueblo and Dene leaders, to fight back, to help the public understand what is happening. And while I appreciate and I agree with the conciliatory and, very importantly, the extended outreach to the administration, come visit this sacred and holy place, I think they are laying their cards on the table. And so I want to tell all of you today that we are prepared to fight. Because like so many of the fights that we are facing right now, this is yet again another fight for our generation, which is to protect the lands that are holy and have been there since time immemorial, that are living sacred places in the memories of not only the people standing here today, but also people all across this continent. So join us in that fight. Raise your voices, call members of Congress, call the White House, call the Department of Interior, organize, and let's protect Chaco Canyon, because Chaco Canyon is sacred. It is our heritage. It is our culture. It is our landscape. And I will just say it one more time. Chaco Canyon is not for sale. So join us.